Hello and welcome to the Treehouse Festival. This is a little video we're going to put together about all the stuff that goes on. It all started a few years ago when a group of friends and I left university and wanted to carry on building because we used to build at university, and our objective was, after hearing one of the guys in our group, his adventures when he was younger, building tree houses, we said, well, let's give that a go. And we carried on our tradition of what we called scavenging, where we go and speak to the local businesses and people who had skips and thrown stuff away and said, could we have the stuff that you're throwing away? And then we'd get that, bring it back, and eventually we built this giant tree house out of it, which we'd all built out of recycled materials and without using any electricity. And it was quite a grand structure. It had double glazed windows, it had carpets, spiral staircase and a balcony, 2 floors, and it was right in the middle of remote Norfolk countryside, and you couldn't see it from anywhere, which was great. And a few years down the line, about halfway through building it, we came up to some opposition from the local council, who asked us to get planning permission for it, which we applied for, and then after a massive battle with lots of media attention and lots of debate and appeals and letters and stuff, we eventually had to take the treehouse down, sadly. But because of that, a lot of people had got on board and had said, well, this is really great what you're doing. So they said they wanted to get involved each year. So we said, well, let's do it a bit bigger and have something called the Treehouse Festival, which is where we are up to now. Our next project now is the roundhouse, which you can see behind me. Quite a big bit of what we're doing is building the roundhouse. It's a really good focus of community. We're actually cooking inside it, even though the roof isn't finished up there, and loads of different people of all different skill levels, people from the city, people from the country, people who have never been and done anything like this before, are having a go at thatching and doing crafts that sometimes haven't been done in the way that we're doing them for hundreds of years. This stuff here is miscanthus, and the Iron Age people, of course, would have used Norfolk reed because it's readily available, but now Norfolk reed is a very expensive commodity for thatching, and so people who harvest reed tend not to give it away for free, especially if it's just going to be used for thatching anyway. So the way we got around that was we kept in the spirit of what the Iron Age people would have done. We looked at what was local to us, and a number of local farmers, about 3 local farmers, were given big grants in a few years ago by the European Union to grow miscanthus, which is elephant grass and is a type of bamboo grass, and it grows in the Far East, but they were given a grant to grow it for biofuels and to power stations. And then when the economic crash came in 2008, those grants fell through, and so these farmers found themselves with huge swathes of land full of miscanthus, and they didn't really know what to do with it. And gradually it's being dug up and replaced by crops that actually produce money. But until that time, they say we can go down there and cut it all and use it for the roundhouse here.
I spent almost the whole day yesterday on the roof, which was fun, and collected thatch. And these are the results of all that stuff. See it? So I'm all covered with scratches, but it's fun.
One of the fun things to do is you take a group of people down to said farm, and you take a big armful of the reed, which is in a root plant, and you take about 50 stalks at once. One person holds them, and the other goes along meticulously, cuts each one at the bottom, and then you group it together, put it on the trailer, and rope it on top of the car, or hanging out the back, and then drive down the road back, and then it's stripped and then given to the guys who are thatching, which anyone is having a go at, and you don't need any particular skill, and and then it turns into a roundhouse eventually.
What we're doing here is stripping off the leaves from the miscanthus, so that it's just the woody bit which we can put on the roof.
I'm participating, obviously. I'm participating. I'm stripping at the moment. In my mind, I'm stripping.
Whoever wants it to be there.
So you go right from the bottom, like a few leaves right at the bottom, and then you just go up and up, stripping off the leaves at a time. And then you have to get up right to the point where it stops being like, sticky at all, and it's just leaves.
Resecuring this that we did last night, and we couldn't see it, so we're just finishing off where these two pieces meet. So Ben's just putting a needle through.
Is he on the inside?
Yeah, there we go. And then pull it around, push it back through again.
So this is the basics of what it is to thatch, then, is it?
To hold it all together, yeah.
I'm doing the interior needlework. So I'm poking it out around the interior pole, and then there's an trussing, whatever you want to call it, and then there's an exterior one that goes around both them, binds them together like a sandwich, and squeezes the thatch as the fill of the sandwich between the two. And then you do it on multiple layers, so each bit of thatch should hopefully be held in by 2, maybe 3. Should be really tight.
Nice. Yeah. Hey Rob, what are you doing there?
I'm
Molesting?
we sort of call it molesting the thatch. Basically what it is when the thatch goes on, here you see it goes in bundles, all at the same height, and it's supposed to be a smooth progression, so these have all been pre-molested already, and these ones need to get rid of all the ends, so to blend this in, you push the top ones up, so they're about a foot away from the next baton, and kind of blend it in. So the ridge is invisible, and it's one seamless kind of hill of thatch, and that's how it works. And it takes a long time, and it hurts your arm because you have to hold this bit of wood.
Oh, of course, yeah. Forgot about that.
Really cool. As you can see, I'm raking up because our method of thatching has sort of evolved as we went along. So at first we were just grabbing the stuff and putting it straight up on the roof. We weren't even trying to get it all the right way round, etc. Soon realised that wasn't good, so we started putting it the right way round. And then we discovered that all the leaves made problems. It wasn't tight enough, so I've had to take it off or bits of it off a couple of times. Where we strip all the leaves, but it's massively labour intensive. You know, each individual bit has to be effectively individually stripped, cut to length, and then put up in bundles and what have you. So I'm currently raking up all the stuff that's been stripped off, which is a never-ending task. It's a bit like painting the Forth Bridge. As soon as you've raked up one area, you have to like kind of go back and rake it up again because it's back again.
Show for it is this.
Throughout the week we're doing different stuff. This morning we had a talk from Greenpeace who came in and talked about the stuff they're doing. We had an acoustic night where people from around come and do little bits of their talents. And
You waited for so long for this day to come.
we got on beach trips. We had a paintballing adventure the other day, and generally a really good time. What is your involvement in the Treehouse Festival?
Communal work, dancing around, enjoying myself. Yeah, being nice building, and funny. Yeah, making everybody smile and having a fantastic time. Even in the rain, if it rains.
Have you come here before?
I have been here before, several times, and had a very good time. Every year, I'm back every year. Let's say. It's that good.
Without fail.
Yeah, without fail.
Doesn't even matter if anybody else is here or not. You just show up.
I'm just here. Yeah.
Pilgrimage every year.
Okay, go on.
So basically, this is the door. What we're going to do is we're going to get the willow and weave these back in on themselves to get the door frame out of the willow, right? And do that all the way around with a curved top to match the archway of the roundhouse. Yeah. Then we're going to support it across at certain intervals with willow weave through, so it's got some kind of sturdiness, because this wouldn't last very long if we didn't. But after that, we've got plans, right? So we've got the door here, then we're going to make a carpet out of this because it's nice and cushy for the roundhouse. And after we've got a carpet, we're going to make a shoe rack. And how we're going to make our shoe rack is strips of this weaved in on themselves with logs supporting each end tied round. It'll be beautiful.
In the beginning there was tents, and then there was drinking and campfires, and then there wasn't much else to begin with, and then there was nothing to do for a bit, so we started building a treehouse, and I think I put the first bit of wood in for the treehouse. I nailed it to the tree, so despite the hype that we didn't put any nails in the tree, I personally did put some nails in the tree. But then we started doing it properly without nails in the tree, and then we built the treehouse, and then it was great, and that kept us busy for a while. And then the council took it down, made us take it down. So we didn't have the treehouse anymore. So we decided to build the roundhouse, which this is the second attempt at a roundhouse. The first one blew down, unfortunately, because we didn't have any way to thatch it, and we didn't really make it very well. But then we started the roundhouse during a building party, and it kind of developed at the Treehouse Festival, and now we just have several building parties a year, and yeah, that's what I come to some of them and not all of them. But I come this week because it's good. I wanted to get the thatch finished, which it won't, and it never seems to finish. It just keeps going up and up and never ending.
This is a teepee we quite crudely made. Friend and I drove down to London and got some really cheap old canvas from a canvas marquee, and then cut it up and got some plans off the internet. We went down the road to a friend of ours who let us cut down some coppice, some maple coppice, and that's pretty much it. You tied around 12 of these poles, and then you got a teepee.
What type of people come to the Treehouse Festival?
Yeah.
People who like community, who want to get along, who like doing interesting things, yeah, and just hanging out really and enjoying the outdoors.
Pretty much every evening people build a big fire, normally strong men who can chop wood and fell trees and the like, and build a fire that goes on until Ben goes to bed. I normally go to bed a bit sooner, so I don't know how long it lasts for. It's about 1 o'clock now, and people about 1 o'clock now, and people are generally chat. There's no organised games. Play lots of guitar, sing some songs. It's the best kind of time to get to chat to people you haven't spoken to before, really. So there's been a few times this evening we've got to have deep and meaningful with people I've never met before.
And the great thing about the Treehouse Festival for me is there's always a mix of people I do know and people I don't know, people I've seen before and lots of people I haven't seen before. And I don't think there's been one year I've gone where I haven't come away with quite a few people who I have then considered from then on good friends and long-term friends who I'd never met before that week. There's always a fire every night, and always at some point during the night there's going to be a guitar around and it gets passed around. Anyone can have a play, everyone has a sing song. People who can sing, people who can't sing, well, it's the same sound really. And it's really cool. People like to improvise, people like to play the songs they know. Some people play funny songs, some people like to teach each other guitar riffs. It's just good that wherever you are around the fire, wherever you are at the treehouse, you're always in hearing distance of someone on a guitar, someone singing, people dance as they move. It's just music everywhere really. The community is the key thing really. There's a big group and everyone is on good terms with everyone else, everyone talks to everyone else. There are smaller groups within that, people who spend more time with certain people, some people they know and people they don't know. But they're so flexible, those small groups, that everyone flicks between, and so everyone gets on very well with everyone. There's no one you can sit down next to and not expect a really fascinating conversation from. There's no one who isn't up for a serious conversation when you need one, or the most random piece of ridiculousness when you want that. It's kind of fluid who you talk to.
What do you like about the Treehouse Festival?
The people, mostly, I think. Because everyone's lovely and inclusive and happy. I like being outside. I like waking up and being outside and living outside. I like fire and sitting around fire talking to people and that kind of thing. I like making things.
The festival is quite unique because it's actually free to come, but all we ask for is that you contribute towards your food, which we do for a phenomenally cheap price, which is great because that means anyone can come, and contribute to the toilet. So it works out as just a few pounds for a week's food and everything else. And it's a really great place camping in a really remote area of rural Norfolk. And there's not a lot else in the east, so it's a nice little thing to come to.
Hi, I'm Dean Reynolds.
Dean?
Yes, I am, along with my lovely wife Emily, in charge of the cooking for the week. And what we do is we get something like this and we turn it into food for everyone. Mostly all vegetarian food. This time we went to a wholesaler who was very kind and managed to give us a really good deal on lots of good food. We also went to a man called Sam Eglinton, who may not wish to be named, who is an organic farmer. He got us some beautiful garlic and other vegetables, which are also excellent. And basically, we get a whole team of people to chop vegetables, do all the prep stuff. Generally, myself or Emily will oversee a meal. Yeah, it's excellent fun, and well, you know, I wouldn't like to yank my own chain or anything like that, but you know, the food is excellent, I would say. This year it's been roughly 40 odd people every night, somewhere between 30 and 40, but mostly towards the 40 area. So we've been preparing fairly large scale, and then we have kind of a washing up thing where everyone chips in and does a bit of washing up.
So what type of meals do you usually cook?
Generally, they have to be one pot wonders really. So that would be your curry, your chilli, you know, your sweet potato curry we did one day. We did a noodle dish. So mostly it's non-English stuff really. We did a pasta. The only thing we've done that's kind of traditionally English, I suppose, is the thick vegetable soup.
We've been kind of camping down here in one form or another since I was about 17, and some of the people who were there on that original camp down here, down the field in one of the horses fields, they still come to the Treehouse Festival now, nearly 10 years later, which is great. And when we first done it, we dug a little fire pit and had a fire down here and had a campfire, and then each year it's grown and expanded. We're now on fire number 4, our Mark IV, which if you want to just have a look down here, is we turned this one into a clay oven, which we've tried to. Yeah, it's not 100% yet because we just need to sort out the way this chimney works, and the fire bit on top is used pretty much constantly. It's not on right now, but yeah, it's a great little fire, and it's nice. And no doubt there'll be many more Marks but it's now, instead of being right at the edge of the little campsite bit, it's now right in the dead centre, and it's grown a lot. So so yeah.
I didn't say film Emily and I eating an apple. I just said the camp at large.
We'll be right near it on the way home.
I'll use it.
I can't do this.
Bread.
Yeah, I've got to go for the bread.
I'll use it.
I can't do this.
Unless you want LSD.
You assisted one another.
They are effectively flowers.
It's not raining very much or anything. Had a good time paintballing and good.
Have you seen that bear grylls?
Yeah.
No.
Down up here.
So today is Saturday, and at the Treehouse Festival, that's quite a big deal.
You're a big deal.
What we do on Saturday, basically the whole week is kind of leading up to it, and the people who've been staying here, there's been about 30 people living here for a week in community with each other, and then on the last day we set up the best party probably in Norfolk today, and right.
We've only got 3 bands.
That's cool. We only need 3 bands. We set up a big party on the last night where people come from outside this little community, and we just set up a big party for them. We have a bar which runs on a non-currency system, and yeah, and bands come from all around the UK and perform, and we have a big lighting and sound system, and yeah, and it's a brilliant day. And there'll probably be about 200 or 300 people here tonight, hopefully, and
Really?
yeah, and they get to see the stuff that we've been doing throughout the week. So, Paul.
Hello.
What are you doing here?
I'm here at the Treehouse Party Festival, come event, and having a good time, even though I'm massively early.
We've just built the trampoline. Yeah. We found some old bars of metal and some bunch of rusty springs and a bit of material that isn't looking too good, and we put it all together, and we're going to make people jump up and down on it. People are going to wander around doing different stuff. There'll be bands and drinks, and people just like to find cool places to sit, and also people like to jump, and the more they drink, the more they like to jump.
So, who are you guys?
Woodland creatures.
And what are you doing here?
Trying to set up at the moment.
We could
We are sorting out for the bar later.
Because we're being lovely for Adam.
So what sort of things will you be doing tonight then?
Giving out
Serving
alcohol.
drink, taking tokens.
Usually about 5 bands, really good music, yeah, getting drunk, really getting drunk, and collapsing halfway in and halfway out of the tent.
Is it true that your mum is here?
It is indeed, she is in fact just to my left.
Hello.
So what are you expecting tonight?
see some people I haven't seen in a while, basically. Have some fun. Stay up late. Pretty much it. Have some fun, hear some music. Drink, apparently. There's a bar.
If it's anything like previous years, expecting to hear some new music and see some old friends.
You heard about Amy Winehouse?
You are? Yeah.
A place designed nicely for you for this particular shot.
I felt mildly guilty and then realised it shouldn't be.
Are you happy with that?
Why have you done that then?
Because it's very fun.
I'll show you.
Look! Actually, I've got shoes on. Yeah, you can. What? You're not allowed shoes, Ben.
So what are you guys doing here?
We're setting up the diary room.
It's a room with a diary in it.
It's a room with a camera. It's a room with a camera so people can record their thoughts and feelings about the Treehouse Festival and its organisers, who are hoping for some very positive feedback.
Adam Jackson's awesome.
So it's a secluded area, if you'd like to enter, we can show you, with a bench ready for people to come and sit. There will be a camera, you'll have to use your imagination.
Okay, I'm Lizzie, and basically we never met before we came here tonight at the Treehouse Festival.
So we come from France.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Dave in the background. Come on in, Dave. Hi, Adam. How's it going? Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
The band's really good. Some really good PA there.
I'm Anime. This is Anime. Nice to meet you. We've just come in here in the diary room. The diary room. To say how we enjoy the Treehouse Festival. We love Treehouse Festival.
So, this is awkward, isn't it? They are watching us.
Anyway, literally. Also, I like the token drinking idea. That's really clever. Yeah. I would have bought a t-shirt, but you definitely just said they sold out. And I was it's been amazing, and I love to be with everyone. I love how everyone is different and so colourful.
Yeah? Yeah? I say it's okay to say yes to that. Hi guys! Speaking of dark moments. What?
So, Dean, thanks for being the guest on the show.
Guys!
Everyone's got to be in. This was supposed to be
Guys! Crashing your party.
We've got a few guests on the show tonight, so we'd like to welcome Dean.
We're the Treehouses.
The Treehouses.
They call themselves that. We don't actually endorse that.
No, we're the Roundhouses now. Guys.
What guys?
Interesting fact, some of the people there believe they are invisible. They genuinely believe no one can see them.
Troy and Ahmed in the morning.
Now you weren't recording them, were you?
No. Yeah.
We had a good night, some great bands, fantastic music, and a really, really nice atmosphere.
Hello there, my name's Ben. This is my first time at the Treehouse Festival. I just did Kings and Crows on stage and it went quite swimmingly.
The owners of this fine farm, Guy and Teresa. Obviously, Adam has done a lot of organising.
Pinch the camera, he's organised everything.
We've got to say, after a few interviews, people have thoroughly enjoyed it. But how have you found it being obviously living here and having to cope with all of these young strangers on your land?
I think genuinely were a bit concerned when we heard that 300... Should I look at this camera rather than you, Matt? Have you ever seen Dad's Army? It's a television programme. And what's the name of the... what's the name of the Undertaker? And what's his favourite line? We're all doomed. It's all doomed. So that was, well, that's pretty much our opinion last night. The barn's going to burn. There's going to be all sorts of dreadful things happening. There's going to be dust. But actually, it's fantastic.
It's
It
good.
really is good.
Four walls around me. All these dreams I've been craving, the thoughts I've been entertaining, to be settling down, forcing these sounds from my lips.